Good morning, Stockton. This is Channel 14 News. I'm Vincent Policastro.
And I'm Lisa Capasso, and here are the top news stories of the week.
Looks like George got a little too curious. A chimpanzee named Cha-Cha escaped from the Sendai Yagiyama Zoological Park in northern Japan on Thursday. Residents spotted the chimp swinging on power lines like tree branches. Zoo workers and local police were able to shoot the chimp with a sedative and catch him 2 hours after he escaped. No one was hurt, including Cha-Cha. You know what they say, curiosity killed the cat, but it only got the chimp shot with a tranquilizer and brought back to the zoo. It seems a little unfair to the cat.
Coral reefs are unique, colorful ecosystems underwater where colonies of aquatic animals and plants make residence. Off the coast of Australia, 93% of the Great Barrier Reef is suffering from bleaching, with only 7% remaining unbleached. The coral bleaching there is caused by warming water temps in the Pacific Ocean, which the reefs cannot survive in. The Great Barrier Reef Marine Park is comprised of 2,900 coral reefs that stretch almost 133 square miles. Scientists predict that 50% of the harmed coral will die. In the north sector of the Great Barrier Reef, 90% of some areas will most likely die since less than 1% of coral there remains unbleached. Yet in the Atlantic Ocean, off of the coast of Brazil, a new coral reef system has been discovered in the muddy waters at the mouth of the Amazon River. The coral and marine life perplex scientists because the dark and nutrient-packed waters are the opposite conditions reefs typically like to live in. Unfortunately, this new and unique biome is also under threat of destruction due to oil exploration and drilling.
Has the end of the semester got you stressed? You got 3 papers to write and a couple of exams to study for? Well, keep on procrastinating and come to the Stress-Free Zone presented by the Wellness Center. This is a free event that will be held on Tuesday, April 26th from 10 to 4 outside the I-Wing gym. There will be plenty of ways to de-stress, including coloring pages, Reiki, yoga, and of course, lots of furry creatures to pet, and some not so furry ones. They will have dogs, ponies, stingrays, and a shark tank. Wow, a shark tank? I'm gonna go just for the shark tank. What group paper and 2 other papers and final exams? I'm gonna go pet some dogs and stingrays. I hope to see you there.
U.S. currency bills are getting a needed makeover. The public has been petitioning for abolitionist and humanitarian Harriet Tubman to replace slave owner Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill. It has been announced by the U.S. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew that the change will start in 2020. However, it is not a complete victory because even though Tubman will be placed on the front of the bill, Jackson is simply being moved to the back, sharing the bill despite public opposition against Jackson. The first U.S. Treasury Secretary, Alexander Hamilton, who is on the $10 bill, was originally going to be replaced by Tubman. But the immigrant innovator for the infant U.S. shall remain honored on the front of the bill, while the back will honor 5 women's suffrage leaders: Susan B. Anthony, Lucretia Mott, Alice Paul, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Sojourner Truth. The $5 bill, which features Abraham Lincoln on the front, will also have the back revamped with Marianne Anderson, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
Hi, my name is Daniel Jackson, and I'm one of the co-managers at SSTV. Our student of the week is actually someone very special to us at Channel 14 News. He's been an exceedingly important contributor to the success of Channel 14 News and to Stockton Student Television. We wish him the best of luck, the best of fortune, and the best of success for his new career. My friend, my co-manager, Alumni of the Week, Alec Pangia.
How's it going, Stockton? I'm Pat Stewart, and I'm here with Alec Pangia, a Stockton alum, and we're here to talk about his book. But before we get into that, I want to ask you, what got you into writing?
Well, I always loved TV, video games, all of those things when I was a little guy, however long ago that was. And every time I would watch an episode of a show, I would make up something about it in my head afterwards. And I want to say, around the time of middle school, high school, I started actually jotting down notes that popped into my head. And the more I did it, the more I realized that this was turning into something that could actually be real. And it sort of was just like an ongoing process. I want to say that it took a long time, but it really happened pretty quick.
Did you get involved at Stockton when you were here with writing? Is that like is that a place where it grew a lot for you?
Yes, I majored in literature and creative writing actually, and I received a brilliant education from the Lit program at the School of Arts and Humanities. So a lot of it was cultivated here for sure. I had some great teachers.
That's awesome. Oh, who was one of the teachers that inspired you? You would say.
Oh, who didn't? Tom Kinsella, Nathan Long, Kristen Jacobson, Cindy King, and really everybody was just amazing. Really.
Okay, so about the book, what's the main plot of the story?
It's a horror novel. It begins with a kidnapping. It deals with a person who's being held prisoner, a serial killer, and a police officer who's trying to address the situation. And yeah.
What inspired the horror story? Do you like horror movies, horror video games?
This is gonna sound cliche, but I usually write things like fantasy and action adventure, things like that. But one day I had a really good nightmare, and I woke up actually remembering most of it. And whenever that happens, I have to write it down because I never remember my dreams. And the thing that I dreamt about was something kind of similar to the final concept of the book. And it left such an impression on me. Like I was thinking about it for like 2 days afterwards. It left such an impression on me that I decided to build upon those thoughts a bit more. I ended up getting so fascinated with the specific characters that it ended up being my primary focus for the time being.
Is this your first published book or
First.
This
is it.
You excited for it?
Yeah.
How did that work for you? The connection. Who'd you meet to publish it?
I actually. I hate to give this advice because not everybody is this fortunate, but I actually went to a family Christmas party, and it turns out that a cousin of mine, a very close family member, that I don't actually see that often, had recently started doing PR for a publishing company, and we got talking, and she took a look at what I had, and she loved it. The person she worked for loved it, and it all took off from there.
Do you plan on writing anything else in your future?
Absolutely. This book is the first of a series, maybe if. I don't know how many books, but it's the first of a series. I have more series planned, some solo novels. I am planning a ongoing career if I can.
Do you plan on doing anything else besides just novels, like scripts or anything like that?
Well, especially here working with SSTV, I have been pursuing an interest in film and screenwriting and editing for the past 3 years at Stockton. I'm going off now, to iron out, my true passions, but I do have a couple scripts planned. I have a couple feature-length movies, because they say it's a minute?
Yeah,
a minute per page. Yeah, so
yeah.
I have about a couple sizable scripts that I might turn into movies one day, but sort of a what-if kind of thing.
Yeah, just right now focusing on the book.
Yeah, for now, yeah. But I want to do everything. I love books, I love movies, theater, love all of it.
So when it comes to the university, Stockton, how did it influence your book? Can you describe that a little bit? Yeah,
I lived on campus for 3 years, and Stockton really is just built, like the way it's built, rather, is just so wonderful. Like, a lot of people don't think much of the Pine Barrens, but when you go to Stockton and you see, the beautiful lake we have and, the paths through the woods and just how, quiet and peaceful it can be here when there aren't that many people around. It really is a beautiful place just to come and clear your head. And for any writer, that's a godsend. A couple times on campus, what I would do is I would wake up right at the crack of dawn. And have you ever seen the sunrise over the lake?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. And basically, any time of day where you can just go through nature and just sort of soak it all in and allow your thoughts to be uncluttered.
Okay.
That allows for the creative process.
Okay. And we talked about the publishing process, but could you expand on that a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. So, I know for a fact, working with a couple friends of mine, that most publishers, you always have to go through an agent. An agent is usually a person who hooks you up with a publishing company, and what you do is you send out a query letter, which is basically, a summary of your story and, as short and concise as possible, but with enough information that you think will sell it and get people to, take it, of course. It's basically a pitch. You send out queries to whichever houses you want to apply for. Fortunately for me, my book ended up on their desk pretty quickly, and they responded very well to it. It turned out to be exactly the kind of thing they're looking for. So really, like, the dominoes just fell from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah.
So I guess my best advice for somebody who's looking to break into publishing would be, to pick a project, workshop the project, be open to constructive criticism, write, draft, rewrite, redraft, listen to the feedback you get, and then when it comes time to start sending it around, have a bit of a business mindset. There's certain things you may have to do that might not be necessarily artistic, but are important for you to, secure a spot where you can take advantage of all the wonderful services that publishing companies offer. Which a lot of people talk. I'm sorry for the long answer.
No,
by
it's
the
fine.
way.
Keep going.
A lot of people talk about self-publishing today, and I'm not disrespecting self-publishing. I think that self-publishing is a lot of fun. I know some people who have published like 7 or 10 or even 20 books self-published. The editing, the marketing, the creating online platforms, designing a launch event for your work. These are the duties of a publishing company. So that you can focus on the artistic. When you self-publish, you have to do all of that work yourself, in addition to preparing the project. I will have a Facebook page and a blog active where I'll always announce wherever my work is. So, look for me online. That's where all writers and business people are these days.
Well, that sounds cool. I look forward to reading the book possibly.
Thank you.
We'll head back to you guys in the studio.
How's it going, Stockton? My name is Stella Psomias, and here's your week in sports. In the NBA, Steph Curry sat on the bench with his head in his hands, facing another injury that could derail Golden State's playoff run. The Warriors felt bad for the reigning MVP, but instead of sulking about their misfortune, they responded with a huge third quarter to pull away from the Houston Rockets and cruise to a 121-94 victory on Sunday that gave them a 3-1 lead in the first round of the playoff series. Golden State used a 41-point third quarter to take control of the game. The Warriors bested the NBA record they shared for threes in a playoff game when Brandon Rush made one from the top of the key with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. Curry returned after missing 2 games with a sprained right ankle, but did not play in the second half after spraining his right knee on the final play of the second quarter. He is scheduled to have an MRI this week. In the NHL, the Washington Capitals beat the Philadelphia Flyers 1-0 on Sunday in Game 6 to win the series 4-2 at Wells Fargo Center. With a victory over the Flyers, the Capitals advanced to second round of the Eastern Conference semifinals to face their rivals Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. It will be only the second time Ovechkin and Crosby have faced each other in the Stanley Cup playoffs. In the spring of 2009, the Penguins defeated the Capitals 4-3 in the semifinals and went on to win the Cup. That's all I have for this week in sports and for Channel 14 News overall, being that I'm graduating and this is my last episode with SSTV forever. It's been a great few years and I've had an amazing time in the studio. I would just like to thank my professor, Professor Newman, my managers, Alec Pangia and Dan Jackson, my former co-anchor, Gianna Tino, and all the SSTV staff, and everyone else I met along the way. My name is Stella Psomias. Take care, Stockton, and have a great and safe summer.
Hey there, Stockton. I'm Brielle Bazio with your weekly weather forecast. Tuesday will be warm but rainy at a high of 79. Wednesday will be sunny again but cooler at a high of 60. Thursday and Friday will be cooler as well, at highs of 53 and 56. Saturday will start cloudy, but the sun should return at a high of 66. Sunday is much sunnier at a high of 63. There will be a chance of a shower on Monday at a high of 67. I hope you have a very happy summer, Stockton. Now here's Pauline with World News.
Hey there, Stockton. How are you? I'm Pauline Enriquez, and this is your World News. The McDonald's franchise in France owes 300 million euros in taxes and fines that McDonald's has been dodging since 2013. How? According to officials, McDonald's used its brand coding based in Luxembourg and Switzerland, known as
McD Europe franchising to relocate its profits to where taxes are lower. If that isn't enough trouble for McD, McDonald's employees in France are demanding a €4 increase in hourly pay. The French McDonald's employees blocked off a McDonald's restaurant and 2 rival restaurants at Gare du Nord last Wednesday, calling out to McDonald's to pay its taxes and pay its employees. To our French allies, €9, which is about $10 is enough to make any employee over here jump for joy. Let's leave McDonald's to worry about its taxes first. Moving to France's neighbor, Italy had a surprise visit from the Pope on Earth Day. Pope Francis joined a local Earth Day event in Rome and gave a speech on caring about the earth for the better good of our brothers and sisters who live in terrible conditions. But how are the people of Rome supposed to take action on the Pope's word if Pope Francis himself doesn't listen to his own word? I mean, don't airplanes harm the ozone layer? Luckily, people elsewhere were already taking action for Earth Day, as we witnessed children in the Philippines clean up the coast of Freedom Island, Indonesian college students planted trees in Banda Aceh, and 155 countries, including France and Italy, signed a new agreement to lower temperatures in industrial areas down by 2 degrees Celsius. 2 is a low number, but hey, it's a feasible goal to start with. That was your world news for this semester. Thank you all for your support. I will see you all next semester. Have a wonderful summer break, Ospreys. Now, Sam Rubenstein with your Stocktainment.
Good day, Stocktonites. My name is Sam Rubenstein. I lost my voice trying to cure cancer, and this is the final segment for the year of Stocktainment. So, first we are going to look at one of the greatest pieces of American cinema ever. Dragon Ball Evolution is the absolute destruction of your childhood, where everything's made up and the plot doesn't matter. That's right, the plot is absolute trash, and if you want to see it, I recommend this amazing movie. Decided to take the premise of the show Dragon Ball, you know, the story of a young Goku and Bulma, beginning what is eventually going to be the entire Dragon Ball saga, and completely butchering it by whitewashing both of the main characters, ruining the happy-go-lucky environment, and completely screwing over one of the greatest villains in anime history. So, let's take a look. My God, what a glorious and shiny piece of trash that was. I feel like this movie is the perfect example of just never looking at your source material. Like, pretty sure these guys just went on to Wikipedia, looked at the Dragon Ball page, and, you know, just said, yeah, okay, this is a thing, this makes sense, and then proceeded to drop a giant turd all over the concept. Now, if you want to watch this movie, which you should, the DVD is out now. But if you want to buy the movie, which I don't recommend, downloading it illegally from Pirate Bay, you know, totally acceptable. Now, our next movie is probably the greatest artistic masterpiece to come out of American cinema since The Godfather. This movie is The Room, a movie written by, directed by, produced by, edited by, and starring the amazingly multi-talented Tommy Wiseau. This movie has the intense and deep plotline that one would get from a softcore porn, and it provides us with everything we've ever needed in a film. Let's watch.
We can't do this anymore. Johnny's my best friend. This will be our secret.
Don't worry. You can trust me.
We are expecting.
I'm your future husband.
You sure about that?
Please talk to me, please.
You're having an affair with Lisa, aren't you?
I need more from life than what Johnny can give me.
She's a sociopath. She can't love anyone.
There is no baby. I told him that to make it interesting.
She's such a manipulative witch.
You're hurting yourself. You're hurting our friendship.
I treat you like a princess, and you stab me in the back.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Oh my God, I'm crying. Oh, what an overwhelmingly beautifully terrible movie. These plot holes, the terrible acting from pretty much everyone in the cast, this awkward sex scenes that are in this. The whole thing would be so uncomfortable if it wasn't so funny and so bad. Now, if you haven't seen it, you need to. Go out, buy this on DVD. It's worth the $3 that you spend. Probably, what?
I told you, for the last time, you can't be reviewing these cult films here.
Yeah, but no,
You're supposed to review films that are good for the family. It's good old wholesome entertainment. This is what Stockton University is about.
Yeah, but it is my last time.
Chair,
No,
get off
I
the
don't.
chair.
I don't want to. I have so much to do now. Oh no!
That's your news for this week. I'm Lisa Capasso.
Before we leave you today, I wanted to say a few words. When I helped start this news show 3 years ago, I had no idea it would become what it is now. This show has grown and changed so much every semester. We've gained so many new members and, of course, lost some people along the way. I've done some silly things on this show, worn a few costumes, told some jokes, and brushed my hair a lot. But in all seriousness, this show and everyone who works on it means so much to me. It has helped me in more ways than just helping me gain experience, and I'm excited for the future of this show. Thank you to everyone that I've ever had the pleasure of working with, and to Stockton and to all of our viewers. That's our news for this week. I'm Vincent Policastro. Have a great future, Stockton. I'm going to miss you.